Assalamu alaikum all. Today I'm going to be talking about 3 bad habits holding back Muslims from financial freedom. So this is like my Muslim take on Muslim sort of reaction to a video done by Ali Abdaal. I'm a big fan of his, and he did this great video recently which is about 3 bad habits holding back people from financial freedom, and I kind of twisted it to the Muslim sort of angle. And also in the B-roll, so this is like the clips that Ali Abdaal adds into the beginning of the video, you see me in one of them because I went to one of his events. Welcome to Simple Muslim Money, which is all about simple halal investing and personal finance for Muslims.
Which is financial freedom is when your passive income exceeds your burn rate.
So what is financial freedom? So that this is a really good sort of explanation of what it is, which is where your income that comes in passively. Now, passive income doesn't mean something that's really easy to set up. It takes a lot of setup to get that going. So whether that's a business or investments or something like that. And where all of that money just covers your costs. So you don't have to work. You're just kind of financially free. You can kind of spend your time doing the things that you really want to do.
Building a business to the point where I am financially free.
Yeah, so Ali Abdaal was talking about how it took him 12 years to get to financial freedom. And in this video, he kind of focused about how to sort of shortcut that process. And the whole point of getting to financial freedom is not just so you can just sit around all day, but so you can spend time on doing the things that you really want to do. So whether that's family, hobbies, YouTube, passion projects. I mean, that's what it's all about. It's not about just getting money for the sake of money.
2 levers to play with. You can increase the amount of passive income you have coming into your life, or you can decrease the amount of money that you're spending.
So I really love this concept of that you've got 2 levers to play with. So that's where you can either kind of increase your passive income. So you kind of got more money coming in that just sort of covers all your costs, or you reduce your costs so you don't need to make as much passively.
The slow lane path is where you have a job and your job generates income. And then you put that income into savings or into investments or into slowly buying out a property every now and then, or maybe putting it in a stock market index fund like the S&P 500.
Yep. So Ali talks about slow lane investing, which comes from this concept that comes from the Millionaire Fast Lane, which is like a really good book. Which is all about investing and saving and stuff like that. And then you end up sort of retiring after a long time. And the idea is that eventually you build up enough sort of savings and investments, whether that's property or whatever it is, that's bringing you enough income that it covers your expenses. And, this takes a long time to do. And it's what most people do. They'll be in a job, they'll kind of put some money away. Then after 20, 30, 35, 40 years, they'll retire and then kind of use that money. So this is not what Ali focuses on this video. He kind of focuses on more on what, we talk about called fast lane.
Can I build some sort of asset, or can I build some sort of business?
So what Ali focuses on in his video is the fast lane path to financial freedom. So fast lane, we're still talking about 10 years or so, and it's about building assets and businesses and building them up, making them bigger and bigger so that they're making you enough income where you can then kind of, spend time doing whatever you want and you're sort of financially free. So just to highlight that, the video focuses on the sort of fast lane approach, so that you can get there kind of as quickly as possible and then you're financially free as soon as possible.
There are literally hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands, maybe even tens of thousands of business books out there. Lots of them are on Audible. You can listen to them in audiobook format. How many of those have you read? If you're like most people I speak to about financial freedom, the answer is probably not very many.
It's a really good point. So this is the first habit he talks about, is the habit of ignorance, where people just don't go and look out and find information about setting up a business, making money, how to be financially free. And this is something like I didn't get into until I was just in my early 30s. I don't know, it just didn't occur to me. So I really like this idea of the habit of ignorance. It's not something you think, you don't think about. Sometimes you just don't think about starting a business, or you don't know the potential and how it can make you financially free. And you're just kind of stuck in this mindset of, I have to have a job, then I have to retire at 65 and things like that. But that's not necessarily the case. And, setting up a business and doing things like that, like even YouTube and stuff like that, there's lots of information out there. And it's about investing that time and learning about these things. And there's so many amazing books out there that he talks about. I mean, the classic was The 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss, which really set me off on this journey. But The Millionaire Fast Lane by DJ DeMarco. There's Alex Hormozi.com Secrets. There's so many books about your mindset and stuff like that. And, and the key question I have to ask myself, am I reading these types of books? Am I learning about businesses, how they set up, what they do? The whole idea is to kind of learn about the different paths to making a business, which is like a fantastic thing that Ali talks about. So for example, in my case, it's like, eventually I've hit across this content creator kind of path to make money. And that's what I really want to kind of get into and the thing that I enjoy. So it's about finding the path that works for you. And there's so many different ways, like setting up an online business, coaching, whatever it is, whatever you kind of enjoy and you feel like you can spend time on. that is the sort of path that you need to sort of find and figure out. And sometimes, it does take a bit of time, but it's a really good thing to be aware of. Like, keep researching, keep learning, keep doing things like that. There's so many podcasts out there. Ali has his podcast, and there's another podcast that I listen to called the High Performance Podcast, to get people for business and stuff there. So it's really important just trying things like that.
Two is the habit of inaction. There are a lot of people I know who aspire to financial freedom, who don't do any learning about it at all. But then there's also quite a lot of people who do aspire to financial freedom, but who are stuck in this sort of paradox of just consistently consuming content and never actually taking any action.
And this is habit 2 now, not taking action, which is definitely I'm something guilty of. I've got into this process of just looking at so much information, and I'm not kind of taking enough action on that. So that's what I'm kind of really trying to focus on now as well. And it's very easy to get into this like paralysis by analysis phase where you're like planning, but the best way to learn is actually by just doing. And I remember listening to this Rumi quote, and it went something along the lines of, once you start walking, then the path appears. So it's not like you just sit on the sidelines and plan. You need to kind of get in there, get into like the man of the arena and just kind of try things out, get your hands dirty. That is honestly the best way to learn, and it's the best way to kind of make progress. And a really good thing I like Ali talking about was how he's saying that most people that he knows that have set up businesses and stuff, they had busy calendars, they had kids, they had jobs and things like that, and it's about finding those bits of time where they could kind of work on it. And saying you're not having enough time is a very common reason why people say they can't set up a business. But however, there's so many people out there, no one has an empty calendar. And I really love this thing I got from the latest Arnold Schwarzenegger book, which is like Be Useful. He was talking about how every day everyone's got 24 hours in the day. So imagine you need 8 hours to sleep, and then you've got 8 hours for work, then you need to spend time with your family and things like that. But everyone could probably get 1 hour a day. So imagine using that 1 hour a day to work on your business or something. That will compound and be really well. And that's something that I'm really kind of thinking about now.
Intentionally designing your environment so that you're able to come into contact with people and with inspiration that will help you out on your journey.
Yeah, habit 3 is a fantastic one. Kind of like calls it environment design / inertia, which is like, if your environment isn't set up correctly, you're less likely to, be financially free. That's a really good example. I'm doing this YouTube channel, so I really want to kind of connect with other people, and being in that environment, speaking to other people, that will kind of really help and boost your motivation. Like, if you see people that are investing money, you're like, oh, okay, let me try and invest money. If you see people that are doing YouTube channels, that might make you want to do YouTube channels. Whereas if you're around people that aren't doing those things, then it definitely won't help you as much. So being around people, getting ideas, seeing what other people are doing is really important as well. So as well as like all the podcasts, taking action, like just having that right environment and the right people around you is super important. And a really big thing I want to talk about is environment design as well. Like at the moment I have my camera and everything all set up. It's really easy to go and get going. If I had to take my camera out every single time, if I had to put the lighting on every single time, that's just going to make it harder for me to do videos. So it's about making things as easy as possible. There's a famous sort of principle from the British cycling team. So Dave Bracefield, I believe his name is. He kind of talked about this concept of the compounding of marginal gains. So 1% here, 1% here, 1% here. And I've been reading a book recently called Unreasonable Hospitality, which is about, fine dining and how they kind of maintain everything. And, it's much easier to make little improvements everywhere rather than one big massive improvement in one go. So that's definitely something, can help, like having good lighting, having a lighting with a remote. I've got a remote for my camera, and these little bits just add up and just make the whole thing sort of easier. I've now, alhamdulillah, managed to get someone that does the editing for me. So, it took a long time to kind of just invest and show him how to do things, but now it's making a massive difference as well. Hey, if you've enjoyed this video, please check out my other video where I talk about moving to Dubai.